Hey everyone, it's Owen here from OTech, and today I'm going to do an unboxing of this pretty interesting liquid cooler from Coolermaster. This is the Masterliquid LC120E RGB. It's a 120mm liquid cooler, which you think, oh, that's not exciting. Well, the interesting part is that this thing for some reason isn't on Coolermaster's website. I've looked it up and it's not there, but this is actually a pretty good deal actually. It's only like $40 on Amazon. And that's why I bought this to check it out. And I'm gonna use it for my mini PC as well, as I'm designing a new case that's gonna fit a water cooler. So even the box is pretty bare bones because it's actually extremely cheap for a liquid cooler. It's just a picture of the cooler itself and the specifications on the side. It's got an 1800 RPM fan, and yeah, it's just a brown box. It's actually pretty minimalistic. And I don't mind a minimalistic box if that means they can bring the price down. So let's take a look if it's any good. Obviously I won't have performance data right now. I'm just going to do an unboxing and just going to show you guys what's inside. So this is the fan. It looks to be a Coolermaster jet flow type fan. So most of the time this is usually for high airflow, so I'm not sure why they're using it in this case, in this scenario, but I don't know. I guess I'm gonna try it out and see if it actually makes sense. Although the interesting part is actually this thing is RGB colored. So even for $40 right now, you can actually get a pretty decent water cooler that's also RGB. So that's kind of nice to know that things are kind of coming down in price actually. I'm not going to show you guys the mounting and stuff, and the RGB controller is pretty boring. I mean, it supports all the modern sockets, AM4, LGA1151, LGA2066, and stuff like that. So this is the cooler itself. Let's just take a look at the radiator and the pump itself, because that's the most interesting part. So for the radiator, it looks to be just a typical aluminum heatsink from the looks of the fins, and it's also got a quite high FBI count, as typical as with most AIO water coolers, because this will usually be paired with a pretty high RPM fan, although that one's just 1800 RPM. But considering the blade design, it's gonna push a lot of air at just 1800 RPM. What we're going to see is if it's going to have enough static pressure to push through this heatsink. But the heatsink, the radiator. The radiator design is actually quite interesting too. It's a blocky square design, so it does look a bit nicer and more premium than most of the water coolers that just have a typical radiator design. Even though this is one of the cheaper ones actually. So for the pump itself, it's connected to these tubings which are sleeve, so it also looks pretty nice. So it just goes to show that you can get a lot for your money these days with water coolers, because they're really coming down in price. And for the end pump itself, here's the water block contact patch. It's all copper as usual, and the water block is just a boring looking one, to be honest. It just has this RGB Coolermaster logo in the middle. It does feel super cheap. I mean, considering the price, I guess it's to be expected, but it's actually quite low profile to most of the other coolers on the market. So this will fit perfectly in my ITX build that I'm going to use this in. So I'm going to go test it out after I mounted it. But now this is just an unboxing of this thing. This is a pretty cool liquid cooler for just about $40 to $50 ish that you can get on Amazon. So I guess I'm just going to see how it performs later, because for the price it's actually quite decent, especially with it being RGB and everything. Anyways, that's it for this really short unboxing. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you learned about this. And if you're building a PC and you need a really cheap and simple water cooler that looks good, I think this may be the right choice. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do, please leave a like and please click subscribe to see more of my future videos. Thanks for watching.